all jokes aside, who do we have coming up right now? Noah the Prodigy versus Liquid's own nephew.
So these are two of the players who I kind of mentioned as maybe being on different sides of the previous storyline we were talking about. Nephew has been really good for a really long time at this point. Only 25, and yet he has been really good for a while. Noah the Prodigy, classically, y'all know the story. He was an 8-year-old taking people's names in Marvel 3, and then he wasn't quite on people's radar. But if you were in SoCal, you may have run into him playing online quite a bit. In Street Fighter V, I ran into him pretty regularly. Very strong Miko player in that game.
Yeah.
So when this came out, obviously he's put much more energy into it. He's a little bit older now, 21 years old. You know, this is the time to do it. And he is that next generation that has made this happen for himself. He's doing it internationally even at this point. It's great to see.
I've definitely had a confession to make when it came to like Noah the Prodigy. When I first saw him in ranked, I'm like, I'm gonna beat this guy up.
You know, I thought the same thing, dude.
And he ran it all the way through. He almost double perfected me.
There you go. Are you talking about 5?
In 6.
In 6, yeah.
I'm like, dude, this guy is unstoppable. He put himself in a burnout in 3 seconds and beat me down.
Right.
Amazing. But hey, man. Credit to where it's due. This guy's been in the trenches.
He really has.
He's been grinding it out ever since. To be fair, nephew, another one of those cats. This is going to be the ultimate testament for our start here in top 8, which could lead into like who's going to be into the grand finals.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to spoil anything, but here we go. Noah the Prodigy versus nephew. Luke versus Jury, game number 1. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier ago before we even went live. Luke's position in the current meta, still very solid.
Okay, yeah. I mean, seems good to me. It seems like a bunch of Luke players are not so sure about that, but he seems good to me.
I mean, not to like be a memer or like fall into that, but even guys like Chris Wong were like, you know, I don't really feel as good playing Luke anymore, so I'm going to switch over.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big signifier, right?
Sure.
Or so you would think. However, look at where Noah the Prodigy is right now against the Capcom Cup winning character.
Burned out.
That's fine. That's a specialty.
Yeah, it is his specialty. Yep. He's willing to do that, no doubt about it. There's nephew on the other side, maintaining control. You never know what Noah's gonna. It's so hard to get a read on him. In neutral, on his defense, it's really, really hard to know what he's gonna do next.
I mean, to be fair, if nephew had forced the block in that scenario, I think you would have been dead, right? You would have forced the block, maybe get like the drive impact if possible, but sitting at 2 bars, it's hard to tell. But if there was any leeway, if Noah had actually like been susceptible to that, he would have died, 100%.
Oh, sure, yeah. Noah already gray, already glistening. Yeah, I know.
Listen, man, if he's the one to do it, that's totally fine instead of being on the defensive end.
Yeah, and he's mid-screen. Not that big of a deal. He's going to recover like just in time, like frames in time.
He was mashing on it.
Wow.
I don't know what that was, and I said the exact same thing on commentary on Wednesday.
I bet.
I still don't know what that attempt was. Maybe like in an assumption there was going to be like a wake-up uppercut, wake-up super.
Oh, he didn't cancel it. Of course he canceled the next. Oh.
Second time in. It feels like Young with Ganagin. If you bring yourself out at least 2 to 3 times as Noah the Prodigy, you win the round.
Yeah, I guess that means you're being active.
Yeah.
Oh! Wow. Level
we
2
were right.
Twice. Yeah, we were.
That's crazy.
First round and second round closed in much the same way.
This has to be studied, David. Like this style of play from Noah the Prodigy needs to be scouted, or else you will fall susceptible to it. If other players kind of take the same exact trend with an aggressive character, I wonder how successful they would be.
It's so cool that the game is open enough that you can play this extremely different style than many other players and have success.
It generally feels good to watch and also like try to imitate.
I mean, even Jury can do that too. It's not often what nephew chooses to do, but there are other Jury players who like to do that. Jack plays that way, for example.
No, he's very fast.
Heavy. Yeah.
He is very fast. He's very much so adamant about like using his drive gauge for big combos, or at least for setup and positioning. That's for certain. Oh. The damage is just getting dumped out. Drivers forward in anticipation for the throw. The back dash from nephew, not really equating to much, but Noah, he's going to be backing off, right? Not necessarily in the pocket of the corner where he can control a lot more. He's giving nephew a lot of space to breathe.
Wow, what a confirm. Nephew got it. Ooh. Hoping to get a shimmy, and Noah's just not getting in any of that stuff.
Yeah, you saw the startup with that standing heavy punch as well. Oh, what an interruption. That normal is everything, I feel like, for Jerry on the ground. Low medium punch to get everything started. Bang. Level 3. The damage. They're helping Noah get into his prime form as well. Oh, not anymore. prime form to death.
Yeah, all right, good work. Nephew, back and forth a little bit on the stage. Ends up tying it up. It's got to be a close match. Between these two? For sure.
I forgot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'll be very honest with you, David. I commentated it, but I couldn't tell you exactly what the score was.
Sometimes that's the hardest to recall. Like when you commentate it, I can remember things more easily when I'm just watching it than when I commentate sometimes.
I mean, at the same time,
see, he blocked
that's
it. That
crazy.
was so good.
That's actually crazy. Being able to make those reads is so risky because like her crouching game is still also a terror.
Sure.
If she gets that low medium or any like low exposure, she will cancel into fat damage.
Absolutely.
Ooh, plenty of time to get that reaction against the fireball.
A little bit of a different timing that it blew up the crouching strong this time. It was the same exact shimmy idea as before, but just a slightly different timing.
It's so
Nephew
good
got
too. Like, especially with Jerry, after 2 standing medium punches still being within range, after the second one's a hit, if it's a counter hit, being able to get 4 medium is such a big saver for Jerry for conversion. It's so good. Beast mode, baby. Plenty of damage on the eraser.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he waited. I can't believe it. Noah on the other side. Lots of this neutral jumping game. He's really hoping that Nephew rushes in ill-advisedly. That really hasn't happened.
Not that we've seen just yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, they played each other so many times. I'm sure it has come up.
Oh, I always actually said the same thing. I don't know what it was about that exact interaction, but he could have definitely gone forward and enforced like an Oki situation, but that's got to be more than enough damage.
Yeah, once the opponent's in the yellow and you start your super, your level 3, like it usually works out.
You're fine. You're fine. I don't know why I would think otherwise.
It usually works out.
It's hard, man. It's still difficult to this day. I've seen plenty of replays like that. But anyways, no, I mean, genuinely, I kind of like dumped out the info just to like refresh and be able to commentate it. That was a great, dude, that was so fun.
That's happened a couple of times now. I don't know why Noah keeps coming back to this neutral jump game. It hasn't really been working out.
Oh, maybe Fireball as well coming in from Nephew. The pressure is just so hard to like.
But he's not giving up
leave
at all. Oh, he knows it. He knows everything.
But how did he know?
Match point. Nephew looking really strong. Back dash by Noah. Wow, what a different start. Very distance heavy. Okay, here's the approach.
Yes, the counter to the counter poke coming in from Noah to the Prodigy. That was a very early crouching medium punch coming in from the drive rush as well. But no, nothing to follow up after the drive rush. Very unorthodox of Noah.
Yeah, he's worried about the defense from Nephew, you can tell.
But that's fine, you know? Like, let's say you eat an ODDP. The damage is not going to be as significant. They have to spend bar on it, and you don't get a side switch.
I hear you. He gets Oki here. And Nephew's out.
And then what happens?
That's exactly what Nephew was worried about before. This time it did happen. But I hear you. It's not a lot out of it.
Oh, that's going to be huge. Noah the Prodigy can actually nail himself a level 3 still with just a low medium punch into like any flash punch.
True, yeah.
It'll build enough damage. Now more than ever. Oh, you know he's doing it.
Okay, what a jump timing. He stays alive.
And he gets to save his meter.
And saves his bar. Both of them maxed out.
It feels so disingenuous with my surprise tone, but I promise you I don't remember. I swear
I completely understand, yeah.
Doesn't it feel weird? Don't worry about
it.
Anyways, okay.
It may feel weird to people watching, but it makes total sense to me because I've been in the same situation many times.
Oh, that's huge exposure. Do you spend it now? Do you dump it? You have to.
I don't think so. I think you're going for the corner here. Oh, yeah.
Do it one more time. Oh.
Well, he can't. Okay. You don't spend it. You don't spend it. Maybe you spend level 2. Yeah, okay, yeah. Nice read. Oh, boy. Right over the top to tie it up 2-2.
The ultimate dump of damage, being able to call out that drive reversal.
Yeah.
There were moments where we thought, hey, maybe this will be your time to actually utilize this level 3, but I guess saving it as well. When you have such a life lead, I guess saving it for defense in case Nephew decides to bust out is really smart as well.
I mean, you're not going to kill at that point, right?
Yeah.
Might as well save it. You're going to need to find another hit anyway.
And that is a strategy that most players need to really start implementing, right? Like really when to commit, having the discipline to dump out the damage instead of just like seeing the possible end goal and trying to go for it little by little. It's kind of rough.
It's not always optimal to do maximum damage. I know it sounds weird, but that is the case. So there's Noah, burned out, glistening gray.
Glistening gray?
Yeah, look at him. It's got sparkles and everything.
I guess there's some,
He's clearly sparkly. Look at his head. Shiny.
Yeah, I mean, towards the head, yeah.
Shiny gray Noah. Oh, man, in the meantime.
Limited edition
Yeah.
Gray Noah.
Foil Noah.
That's wild. There's got to be like FGC trading cards at this point, right? I know there were a couple of attempts, but that needs,
Yeah.
that needs to be a real thing now. Come on now.
Okay.
Counter hit as well. Ooh.
Nephew.
The one time you should have been wary about it on the drive rush.
Yeah, that's how it's been. Nephew has only made a couple of these wake-up DP choices, and they've been right.
Pretty significant moving forward. The big shimmy. I think that's the first time we've really seen Noah susceptible to that.
Strike throw coming in big. Next confirm. Oh boy, that could have been the solution.
What a block, but at the cost of what now?
That burnout was by Nephew. Oh my, I love it. I love it. Nephew going in right away. He's the one who caused the burnout. He put Noah into an uncomfortable situation. It wasn't something that Noah planned for. He didn't expect to be burned out, as he often is when he plays. So the fact that Nephew then took advantage of his causing that burnout, love it. I think that's an excellent way to find the end and to move into winners finals.
Kept the combo pretty simple as well. Plenty of damage in coming from the heavies. Canceled into one special. Made sure to maximize the damage output. Really, really well done. Really intelligently played also towards the second to last round, being able to risk the DP with the assessment of like, if this hits, I'm going to kill you.
A couple of big moments here. That was the moment when Noah had just gotten back enough drive gauge.
God, but we talk about like the utility that Noah has all around with both his meter, his drive gauge as well. The decisions he made around like using some of these big level 2 moments has been spectacular. But man, we will say like some of the matches that he's lost, it wasn't because he put himself into burnout, but it was because of Nephew and his onslaught of normals too. Just the situations he's put him in constantly is what really ultimately was his downfall, which is very impressive.
Part of that, of course, is also Noah. Like, Noah's spending a lot of drive gauge, and he's at risk of getting burned out as a result.
Fair.
He doesn't always... Some of these situations will probably look at him. Nephew's the one who caused the final burnout, but, like, Noah spent 3 bars to get offense or whatever.
That's fair.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And that's also a very common scenario. You see that a bunch of times in top level. They'll do like at least one confirm into like a drive rush into like OD, whatever the case may be.